McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes. Which F1 team is the best? Let's find out. My name's Luigi and this is The Brick Connection. LEGO's newest collab is with Formula One, and so far we've already gotten quite a few sets, but the Speed Champions drop is the one I've been looking forward to the most. They all release March 1st, and we get 10 teams. Ferrari, Oracle Red Bull, Visa Cash App Red Bull, BWT Alpine, Aston Martin, Kick Sauber, Mercedes-AMG, McLaren, MoneyGram Haas, and Williams Racing. This is the single biggest drop of Speed Champion sets that LEGO has ever put out, and personally, I think these are going to be the sets that do the best a part of this new F1 collab. Now, I definitely went a bit overboard and grabbed all 10, though I suspect I won't be the only one. I think most people are probably only going to opt for the cars and teams that they like, so one or two at most. Each set costed me $35 Canadian. I have 10 here, so you do the math. And the sets come with between 242 pieces and 275 pieces, with Haas having the least at 242 and Ferrari having the most at 275. If you buy all 10 like me, you'll have 2,601 pieces. The instruction booklets are pretty standard for Speed Champion sets, but one thing that is really cool is you get a side-by-side comparison of the real F1 car beside its LEGO counterpart, and a fun fact and slight LEGO joke. Now, when you open up these boxes, one of the first things you are going to notice is the sheer amount of stickers. Between all 10 cars, you have 328 pieces, which means for every 8 pieces, there is 1 sticker. McLaren has the most at 40. I'm sure you're wondering, after putting 10 of these cars together, how boring and tedious did it really get? I know that I thought going into this, it was going to get super repetitive, and I am happy to report it really didn't. There's definitely enough distinction and variety between each set. Now, that's not to say that there aren't any similarities specifically with the rear wing. The front wings are identical across all 10 cars. But surprisingly, that was a bit of a warm welcome, as I didn't have to rely on the instructions as much as I knew exactly where the pieces had to go. Repetition isn't always the enemy. If you manage to put all 10 sets together without pulling out all of your hair, just wait, because you definitely will when it comes to the stickers. Given that these are F1 cars and F1 teams are heavily sponsored, the Speed Champion sets are covered with stickers. Like I said, 328 stickers between all 10 sets. F1 cars are intricate and so are the stickers. I am talking 1 by 1 and 1 by 2 small, so take your time. The builds are fairly straightforward, and if you've never built a LEGO set before and this is where you're starting, take your time. There will be a few things that might not make sense at first, but you'll definitely get the swing of things. If you've done Speed Champion sets before, there definitely are some differences and surprises, but nothing that's really going to impede the process too much. There are a few Technic pieces and techniques specifically for the wheels at the front and rear, but nothing over the top, so if Technic is not your thing, don't worry. Speed Champion sets for the most part can be used as play sets. I do find these to be a little bit more fragile, so you might want to handle with a little bit more care, especially with younger children. There's also the introduction of a few new pieces as well. We have some new sloped pieces for the sides, clear 1 by 2 stud plate holder used for the rear suspension, brand new front suspension pieces that hold the wheels, and finally a brand new minifig helmet that more closely resembles a real F1 helmet. Speaking of minifigs, they are definitely one of my favorite parts of these sets. Each minifig comes with their helmet, their hair, and the classic Speed Champion wrench. One thing I'd like to mention, if you already haven't noticed, is that 8 of the boxes are identical in terms of design, with 2 of the boxes being different, specifically the Red Bull teams. I have no idea why this is, and if you have the answer, I'd love to know. Now let's give these sets the Brick Connection score. Again, these are going to be based on 3 categories: value, build, and aesthetics. Starting with value. For value, I'm going to do something a little bit different this time and give it a score with an asterisk. Each set costed me $35 Canadian, which I personally think is a really good deal for what you are getting. Now, depending on which set you get, you may get fewer or more pieces, but overall, $35 is a great entry-level point for getting a fantastic looking set. And if you're only grabbing 1 or 2, it's an easy 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, if like me, you're grabbing 10 sets, well, that can get pretty expensive. I spent $350 Canadian. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't really regret my decision, but it's definitely on the pricey side. So if you were planning on grabbing multiple, specifically 10, I have to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. For build, these are a lot of fun to put together and you're going to have an absolute blast. If you're only planning on buying 1 or 2, the stickers aren't really going to hold you back that much. If like me, you are planning on grabbing all 10, stickers are definitely going to be the biggest problem. These sets really aren't that repetitive, and there's definitely enough distinction and variety, so each set is enjoyable. So I am giving it 4 out of 5 stars. For aesthetics, I think these look absolutely fantastic. Sure, there are sets that I think look slightly better than others, but that comes down to personal preference. I think the Speed Champions lineup is a great entry-level way to enjoy the LEGO F1 collab while having a great looking display set to show off your favorite team. So I am giving it 5 out of 5 stars. The F1 LEGO collab really is something special. LEGO has been creating cars almost since their inception, and this collab really does just feel right. The Speed Champions specifically because it's a great great entry-level point. Sure, LEGO is releasing other F1 cars, but they're on the bigger scale, which means more money. For $35, you really are getting a fantastic looking set. I suspect these are going to continue to sell really well and honestly be the best sellers a part of this entire collab. Overall, I am really happy with the way these turned out, and while I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to display them yet, I'm sure they're going to look fantastic in my LEGO room and people are going to be drawn to them. The only real question that is left is which F1 team is the best, and if you wanted to know where I stand, well, with a name like Luigi, I'm sure you know what direction I am going. Ferrari! Until next time, this is the Brick Connection, and in the famous words of David Croft, it's lights out and away we go.